Hey guys or gals, and I don't mean no disrespect, but like, please, if you're still saying God, please stop following me. Why are so many people that are still saying God? It's almost like I got these, they look kind of familiar, like, some girls from YouTube that like walk around in jeans or whatnot or something. I don't know. It's like, I mean, obviously I could see why the algorithm would like induce you to that. It's like, hey, here's a, here's a dark haired woman and we're going to, make you look at her. I don't think those women aren't actually following me like the person. You know, the, the, I hate to say word, Asian women, the particular ones are way too popular to just stop and follow me. Who the fuck am I? But like, yeah, please, I've made this clear. It's not sincere. I've made it clear my stance with the God thing. How many times does David got to say it? God, which is actually God's, all but twice in Scripture. God is God's, all but twice in Scripture. How many times I have to repeat this? And it means tall guys. That's all it ever meant. It means tall guys because it can mean nothing else. And it's intentionally mistranslated by your preacher, by your one verse Charlies. Miracle God, like that's why they're one verse Charlies. That's why they get up and read a verse here and read a verse there and just put a bunch of dialogue in it because they ain't got to go lift nothing heavy. No occasion you go visit your grandma or your mother in the hospital, but they ain't got to pick up nothing heavy because they damn God, they big down. Come on now, religions. I'm trying to make this clear. Stop. I don't have time to like unfollow or just wipe the whole list clear. I'm not here to be followed. Okay? But yeah, seriously, I'm gonna let y'all deal with your own karma. If you're still saying God and projecting it as not tall guys and something to submit to, okay? You still like getting this nefarious, narcissistic, homicidal, genocidal God. You just keep pushing that down my throat and you're following me. I'm not gonna interfere with your karma. I'm telling you, I'm warning you right now. I don't need you following me. I don't know why you're following me. My stance is clear. If you're following me and that means you haven't listened to me. If you're saying God and you're following me, that means you ain't listened to me. None of you. If you're still saying God, stop. God is God's. That's why the Greek gods were plural. Can't have a homogenized central consciousness calling all the shots. Again, we'd all be wearing the same clothes and have the same shoe size. Okay? We can't be doing that. The thing is, we're not doing that, and the reason is because we can't. We can't have homogenous. What are we having the experience for if we're having a having a central hive mind consciousness, which in the scriptures is portrayed as a spoiled, narcissistic brat? Because it is. It says, petty concerns concerned with blood. If its concern is drinking blood or you giving it blood, then it is revealed what it is. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know how many ways I can pronounce duh over time. There we go. Okay. Now we have divine. I can handle it. No one's saying divine. We have divine, feminine, divine, masculine. Those are aspects. Those are aspects of ourselves. We do not have, because the word, you can't take the word and change it to what it's not. That's what it is. So why don't I have people why aren't the most of my followers not saying God? When you're saying if it was sincere, I'm saying the majority of my followers, which is just a handful, like, why are my majority of y'all saying God and whatnot? It ain't adding up. Okay. It isn't adding up whatsoever. So yeah, it is kind of a warning. You're breaking spiritual law. I'm warning you to stop breaking spiritual law. I've warned people about voyeurism. I'm tired of just because you have a label for it, psychic. I don't know where y'all got voyeurism is okay as long as it's called psychic. Okay? If you're not a criminal, you're not allowed access to another's mind. Okay? Without their permission. If you're not doing something nefarious, you're not allowed access to another consciousness mind. And the guys that we're all one. And it's like, that's a gift where you get to invade someone's blackboard or scratch sheet of paper. We don't know where some of these thoughts are coming from. So therefore, why would you in my mind? I certainly didn't need me in my mind that day. One was drilled into my head. I didn't know it was called drilled. So why is the only thought that I ever felt penetrate my skull was that, hey, if you cannot have a baby girl because you might be sexually stimulated when you go to change her diaper. Is that why? Because it's so absurd. But why that thought? Like, where's this baby girl of mine? I mean, why is the only thought that I actually felt penetrate my skull, which is actually on the left hemisphere, which I can find out later, right in the language center. Right in the language center is where it actually, I remember that penetration. Never felt a thought, actually feel like it had to go through my skull before. Is that why? Because it was so absurd? I mean, it's like, okay, the thing is, I can't verify if that's not the case. I've never changed a baby's diaper. So, do you get what I'm saying? See how vulnerable you are? And you got little kids like little Marys, little selfish Marys that way, oh, you probably think technology exists. Decades, nefarious, mind-reading technology, Oppenheimer access via satellite, Neuralink via satellite, James Isaac Bagley. And remember, you see, the thing is, you got to incorporate all this information. Water always finds its level, or it would spin off this 1,000+ mile an hour, running ball, they claim. Just like the tennis ball. That little tennis ball picture with all the water rolling off, there's all the water. Would already be on a waterless Earth if it was spinning as they claim. So the satellites are by balloon. That's why they send, like with when they need like phone service in these countries, in these isolated countries, they send shit by balloon. We have that verified. Your satellite, when you go up there, you don't see them. You don't see any of these satellites when you take your consciousness up there via an iPhone on a private high altitude balloon, weather balloon. Who has not seen that? Who has not seen hours of high altitude weather balloon footage, which is private? There is no satellites up there. The sun's right there. The sun's right there. They say 34 miles wide. The sun's right there. Obviously, no chance in hell it's 93 million miles away, nor that the size they claim. That's why they give you CGI pictures of the sun. Okay. So I have to incorporate the truth. I don't know if Joe's, just because he calls it Space Force and says it's via satellite link, that doesn't mean it's not satellite link, but these satellites aren't spinning the Earth at some ridiculous speed. They're they're floating around on weather balloons so they can maintain neural networks. Oppenheimer access Neuralink technology via satellite. This shit is real. Okay? So I ain't got time for your narcissistic, reptilian, potentially, entities. Because Jehovah Yahweh would have to be a reptile or nothing else. Because of its bloodlust. All it's concerned was blood and strange and particular organs of the animals. Okay? There you go. Again, with the science and the rocket, yeah. So there you go. If you're still saying God, there's nothing I can learn from you. And if you're saying non-binary, there's nothing I can learn from you either. Sorry about that. Are you going to remove that for hate speech? If I say the word non-binary, is China Talk going to remove this whole video? Let's see.